so much. Thank you. Thanks. Thank you, Senator. Thank you, Senator Graham. There's an expression in North Florida, I don't know if it's somewhere here, like when you're happy, you're like a pig in slop. Well, I'm like a pig in slop because I get to hang out with Lindsey Graham for a full week. You only got about 1/100th of his repertoire. A lot of times we don't need government. A lot of times government really, we wish it didn't exist. If you think about if you're a small business person or you're frustrated with how the Veterans Department works, you'd like to start over maybe. But when people really need it, that's the sign of when you're a leader or not. Do you run to the challenge? Do you run to the fire to try to take it out? Or do you blame somebody else? Governor Riley was one of those that ran to the challenge. And I tried to do that each and every day as governor of the state of Florida. I get a sense that the current occupant of the White House isn't one of those guys. In fact, he spends most of his time and his talent and his energy, and similarly, so does Hillary Clinton, pushing people down to make himself look better. He's pursuing, just more importantly, Hillary Clinton pursues her ambitions at all costs. Why else would you have a private server where you can pursue your ambitions maybe one day to run for president, but have classified information going over a private server against the laws and perhaps, certainly against the rules and perhaps against the laws, and never tell anybody and never admit it? Well, I have 330,000 emails you can get at jebemails.com. I release those without a subpoena from the FBI. You can't get hers unless you have the FBI by your side. The question is, what kind of leader do you want sitting behind the big desk during difficult times? I don't know what the next big challenge will be. I know the challenges that loom right now, the fact that we're not safe and secure, the fact that our economy is in decline, the fact that there's 6.5 million more people living in poverty than the day that Barack Obama got elected, and the fact that median income, the great definition of the middle class, is down $2,300 in the last 7 years. Those are apparent things. And as president, I will do everything I can to lift people out of poverty and to create economic growth so people in the middle class will get a pay raise for the first time in a decade. But what about the challenges that we may not know about? Because they'll come. Could be a public health issue. It could be a massive hurricane of epic proportions. It could be an attack on our country like 9/11. Who do you want to have to sit behind the big desk when that happens? That's really the question I think that people need to look at, because it's almost assured that that will happen. The three front-running candidates, at least coming out of Iowa, maybe not so out of New Hampshire, but certainly out of Iowa, we have an entertainer, a guy who's a reality TV star, who has been successful in his own life, but he also pushes people down to make himself look better. But untested people during difficult and dangerous times is a risk. And I'm here to tell you that I have a proven record of taking on big challenges. I've had a front row seat watching history unfold as well. A little unique experience, because I'm proud of my dad, George H.W. Bush. I happen to think he's the greatest man alive. And I'm proud that you can stand, ready to stand up again. I am proud to be George W. Bush's governor. This country's had the capability of fixing problems in the past. Why do we now expect that it can't be done? Of course it can be done. It just requires a new style of leadership. The kind of leader that doesn't assume that he's got it all figured out. The kind of person that would bring people together to solve problems. The Veterans Department is not a liberal issue or a conservative issue. It's not a Republican issue or a Democratic issue. Everybody should want to make sure the veterans are in the front of the line. And I'll make sure that happens. I'm so sick and tired of politicians that exaggerate how great they are, push down people of goodwill that may not agree with them to make themselves look better, and the gap just grows and grows and grows. If you want to continue that, then we'll be in decline as a nation, and I know you don't. I hope you want someone with a servant's heart, someone who has a backbone, someone whose life experience is one where he's taken on tough challenges. Trust me, I have. Someone who is able to persuade, doesn't assume that people that don't agree with me are bad people. They just might be wrong. And my job is to persuade them to forge consensus. The final thing I want to tell you is that my life and my is really informed by my faith in many ways. I'm a Christian, and I converted to Catholicism in 1995 on Easter Sabbath. And my belief is really guided by the simple fact that I think that life is divinely inspired, that we're all here for a purpose, that we all have an ability to make a contribution in our society. Imagine the United States where we shuck off the power of government, we lessen the role of government, and we focus on making sure that everybody can achieve earned success. That we transform how government works to lift people up rather than to put a burden on them. That is the America that I want. That is the America that if we achieve, we will be the greatest country on the face of this earth for generations to come. That should be our mission together. And if you believe in that, I ask for your support here a week from Saturday. You all can reshape this race. You can pick someone that you believe in, someone you know that will be focused on you rather than themselves. You can change this by electing a nominee that can beat Hillary Clinton. You can change this by supporting a person who is the conservative reformer in this race. I appreciate your support. I love your prayers. Thank you very much.